Hello, my brothers and sisters. Brother Billy. Brother Billy wanted to go live and do ABC's job and fact check Kamala Harris. Because it was very obvious to me looking at that debate on the other night that was not a fair debate from those moderators because they fact checked Trump on a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of things, and a lot of it was actually lies by Kamala Harris. Didn't fact check Kamala Harris on anything she said, nothing. Anything, any of her policies, she was not fact checked on none of them. And as Christians, see, Brother Billy is a Christian. And as Christians, we're just supposed to be fair and honest as believers. You, as a Christian, you got to be fair and honest. It doesn't matter how you personally feel about Brother Billy. You got to judge Brother Billy fair and honest. I got to judge Trump fair and honest. I got to judge Kamala fair and honest as believers. See, the problem is you got all these Christians who they put their feelings over the word of God. That's what a lot of these so-called Christians do. They will not judge Trump righteously. Because why? Because they feel a certain way. You got to put your feelings aside if you're going to be a Christian and judge righteously and judge fairly. And that's what I'm going to do because ABC didn't do their job. ABC didn't do their job. Let me pull up this scripture here. See, the Lord detests this. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. You hear what? A false balance, that is an abomination to God. But a just weight is his delight. So when you judge anything, you got to judge it righteously. You got to judge it fairly. That's what God likes. That's what he likes. So now I'm going to get right into this video. And somebody did a very good job. And I'm going to just use what he did. I'm going to use his video because he did a very good job putting this together. The Officer Tatum, who I follow. And he did a very, very good job. And so I'm going to get right on into this. He lays out about 9 different fact checks that ABC refused to do. And we're going to show these people, all these people who, in my timeline, Trump is a liar. Trump is a liar. He's a liar. Okay, my thing is, if Trump is such a liar and that's why you can't vote for Trump, then you also going to have to turn your back on Kamala Harris. Is the reason why you can't vote for Trump because he's just such a liar. That's what they were telling me in my timeline. Trump is just such a liar. Well, if that's the reason you can't vote for him, then you got to toss Kamala Harris out too. You hear what I say? If you can't vote for Trump because he's such a liar and so he's so immoral, you got to throw Kamala Harris out too. See, I ain't voting for Trump because he's not a liar and he's not immoral. I'm voting for Trump for his policies. Because if you hear what I say, Brother Billy's voting for Trump because of his policies, not because he's not a liar and not because he's not immoral. His policies are more biblical than that of Kamala Harris. Let's get this thing started. Listen at this.
It's so hard to watch when you are very clear on the fact that Kamala started it gaslighting Americans. It's really sad that Americans, I see my friends on TikTok on Facebook who are like, oh my God, she's cooking him. Oh my God, she's like doing amazing. She's lying in her amazingness. And let me tell you, you guys are stupid enough to believe her. All you got to do is a little bit of fact checking, but no, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to automatically call him a lie because the media and them have helped you believe that he was a lie. You ain't going to fact check it. You ain't going to look. You're not going to look. You are literally just going to automatically believe him. But are you noticing that all she keeps leaning on is, this is why I'm going to be better, because I don't incite the things that he do.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had to do this. You watched the debate like I did. There's a ton of things that I was frustrated about. One being the lack of preparation from Trump. Although, watch it the next day, I think he did better than I felt like he did the day of. But Kamala Harris lied so many times.
Yes.
And the moderators covered for her so many times that I could not stand it. Shout out to my boy Nick. We put this video together for you guys. Every single lie that was told, either by the moderator, either by Kamala, or a truth that was told by Donald Trump that they completely fluffed and lied about. Everything from J6 to gun buyback to fracking. I got it all in here. I had to make this video. Share this with everybody because they lied and they were disingenuous during that debate.
Yep. And now we about to get into it and do ABC's job and show y'all all of, and I need to tag some people in this video. Those who commented and called me crazy and idiot and stupid and gullible. I gotta tag them. And then we'll see how honest they are when they see, oh Lord, I'm voting for Kamala and she just as much as a liar as Donald Trump. Then you'll see people's true heart. I'm gonna tell you right now, most of them after looking at this video and see all the lies Kamala Harris has told, for most black people, they gon' I'm talking about the black one that speak in tongues. The tongue talkers, they gonna throw this out like it ain't mean nothing. But for Trump, oh, he's a liar. They gonna toss it. Cause you know why? Because they worship skin color, not the Lord Jesus Christ. Let's get into the lies. Let me move this up a little bit. We got lie number 1. I'm getting past this little intro. Right here.
And I had to do it. I don't need to talk much.
Let's go.
Let's put it on display.
Lie number 1.
At the debate, they talked about gun buyback. I got every lie on here. You can see it at the top of the screen. Gun buyback. I'm going to let it roll. Roll the film.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away. So stop with the continuous lying about this stuff.
Okay. The moderator didn't fact check her. So
but we are.
I do believe that we need to do buybacks. I support buybacks.
How mandatory is your gun buyback program?
It's mandatory.
We want to ban assault weapons. We need an assault weapons ban.
We need reasonable gun safety laws in this country, starting with universal background checks and a renewal of the assault weapon ban. I'm also in favor of the assault weapons ban, of universal background checks, red flag laws. Congress needs to have the courage to act and renew the assault weapons ban.
So it's clear that we must renew the assault weapons ban.
Let's have an assault weapons ban.
We need an assault weapons ban.
Demanding, as we all do, red flag laws, universal background checks, and a renewal of the assault weapons ban.
We're saying we need reasonable gun safety laws, including universal background checks. And to your point, Chris, a renewal of the assault weapons ban is just the right thing to do.
But we still need an assault weapons ban.
And yeah, I am radical. I do believe that we need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
Decisions is my values have not changed.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there.
Y'all hear that lie number 1? She said she wasn't into no buyback and mandatory gun confiscation, all that stuff. Buyback. Lie. She's a liar. You see the lie. Now, what are you going to do about it? Now, Charlottesville, because he's a racist.
Was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the Supreme Court had great courage.
You hear that? Charlottesville, debunked. Kamala Harris lied. Did they fact check her on that lie? He called out the neo-Nazis and all them other bad people in that group. But did ABC fact check her and say, well, Kamala Harris, he did say they were good people on both sides, and he did call it. They didn't do it. Why? Because they're in the tank for the DNC, for the Democratic Party. They are liars. That's why it disgusts me that y'all are so gullible to believe these liars. That's why I put that post on, vote for Kamala Harris. You're going to be crying some bitter tears. Mark my word on that. Now let's look at abortion, because this one here bothers me a lot. Listen at the liar.
And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
No exception. There was a very contentious committee hearing yesterday when Fairfax County.
And this is when Donald Trump was talking about the former governor. This is him talking about abortion after birth.
Will she allow abortion in the 8th month, 9th month, 7th month?
Come on.
Okay, would you do that? Why don't you ask her that question?
Why don't you answer the question? Would you
because
veto?
Under Roe v.
Answer
Wade,
the question. Would you veto?
You could do abortions in the 7th month, the 8th month, the 9th
That's
month,
not true.
and probably after birth. Just look at the former governor of Virginia. The governor of Virginia said, we put the baby aside and then we determine what we want to do with the baby.
Delegate.
Now let's listen. You heard Kamala. That's not true. And didn't answer the question whether or not she's for abortion up to 6, 7, 8 months. She didn't answer. You know why? Because she's not against that. She is not against that. That's why you so-called Christians, you actually disgust Brother Billy. You really do. This woman don't mind killing babies up to the 8th, 9th. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter with her. But she looked like me, so I'm going to give her my vote.
Tran made her case for lifting restrictions on 3rd trimester abortions, as well as other restrictions now in place. And she was pressed by a Republican delegate about whether her bill would permit an abortion, even as a woman is essentially dilating, ready to give birth. And she answered that it would permit an abortion at that stage of labor. Do you support her measure and explain her answer?
Yeah, and I wasn't there, Julie, and I certainly can't speak for Delegate Tran, but I would tell you first thing I would say, this is why decisions such as this should be made by providers, physicians, and the mothers and fathers that are involved. There are, when we talk about 3rd trimester abortions, these are done with the consent of obviously the mother, with the consent of the physicians, more than one physician, by the way. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities. There may be a fetus that's non-viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion. But again, we want the government not to be involved in these types of decisions. We want the decision to be made by the mothers and their providers. And this is why, Julie, that legislators, most of whom are men, by the way, shouldn't be telling a woman what she should and shouldn't be doing with her body.
Did you hear that? The baby would be born. They would set the baby aside, resuscitate the baby, and talk to the mother and the father and see what they want to do. See what they want to do about what? The baby is born alive, set aside, resuscitate, Then they're going to talk to the parents to see what they want to do. See what they want to do about what? To see whether or not they want the baby to live or die. And Kamala Harris is not against that at all. Wicked, that's a wicked devil. A wicked, evil devil. And you think, you so-called Christians think you can co-sign this wickedness, and you're not going to deal with God. God not going to deal with you. You got another thing coming. If you think you can co-sign this wickedness, this evil, and think you just A-okay with God.
And do you think multiple physicians should have to weigh in as is currently required? She's trying to lift that requirement.
Well, I think it's always good to get a second opinion, and for at least two providers to be involved in that decision, because these decisions shouldn't be taken lightly. And so, I would certainly support more than one provider.
All right, let's go back to the phones now for the governor. We're going to talk now with Mike, who's calling.
We're going to call the abortion facility, and I'm going to tell them I'm pregnant
Watch this.
with a
Listen to this.
32-week fetus, as you say. Hi, I just turned 32 weeks pregnant. Am I able to come in for an abortion ASAP?
I wouldn't be able to see you till the week of the 23rd, so that would put you at 34 weeks.
Can I still have an abortion at 34 weeks?
Yes, ma'am. I just have to do an intake. Do you have
Yes,
about
you
5
can.
minutes?
Sure, I have 5 minutes. Yeah, I just found out that she could have Down syndrome. I can still have the abortion, right, even though she has Down syndrome?
Yeah, so we just have to do an intake because the doctor...
It doesn't fucking matter.
Sorry
That's
for the
late-term
language.
abortion, ma'am. That's an abortion in the 8th month of pregnancy that's discriminatory based on someone's genetic code. She
The
just
8th month.
confirmed she would commit an abortion on me with my child who's viable and can live outside the womb.
They didn't push back on at all.
The 8th month.
They came out and said there is no state in the union that allows this. I just showed two clips. How can they not? How can the moderators not fact check this? They actually fact check the complete lie. Here's another thing.
Just the
Governor
Tim
Walz, Governor Tim Walz, babies born alive in botched abortions were left to die. Then he removed the reporting requirements. Facts. All right, let's move on to the defund the police.
She was big on defund the police. In Minnesota, she went.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
Look, right. So here's the thing. Defund the police. The issue behind it is that we need to reimagine how we are creating safety. And when you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
And then also, again, what we need to do about demilitarizing our schools and taking police officers out of schools.
On that point, Donald
in the bloodbath lie.
Trump, the candidate, has said in this election there will be a bloodbath if this and the outcome of this election is not to his liking.
You hear how she's framing that? There's gonna be a blood, and then you got I'm calling what it, then you got idiots. They just listen at these little sound bites, these little snippets that the media spoon feed you, and then you just run with it. Oh, Trump want a bloodbath. He want to kill. He just want to kill up a lot of people if he don't win and he don't. That's because you're an idiot and you're lazy, and you won't do what the Lord say. Study to show yourself approved. You won't look into nothing. You just run with the snippets. Now listen at the lie.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it, went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, And you think you're going to get that? You're going to not hire Americans and you're going to sell the cars to us? No, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line. And you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected.
Now listen.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
I was at the Capitol.
Which is 100% bloodbath refers to the economy. All you got to do is look up the definition of bloodbath.
Exactly.
The moderators knew it, but they didn't say anything. They didn't fact check. Why didn't they do that? Let's do it more. January 6th. This woman claimed that she was there on January 6th.
On January 6th. I was the vice president-elect. I was also an acting senator. I was there.
Tonight of Kamala Harris.
What's the lie?
Where were you on January 6th when you were almost hurt or killed by a pipe bomb outside of the DNC? Because you've never spoken of this publicly, and we're kind of confused why you keep implying to people you were at the Capitol when you were not. You were at the Democrat national headquarters there at the DNC in Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm Will with R&R Tire Express. And I'm here to tell you about our everyone's approved, affordable.
Look at Kamala.
Here's a video
That's
of her
Kamala.
leaving the Capitol building before anything happened that day. This is surveillance video of her leaving the Capitol building before anything happened.
That's Kamala.
How were you there? Fact checkers got this video like we got the video. And they didn't fact check this woman. Project 2025 been debunked 1,000 times. She said it on the debate. The moderators didn't say nothing about it.
You're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again.
The breaking news is Trump has nothing to do with Project 2025.
The architect
Sure, a
of it.
lot of us have worked in the admin and came together, but this started long before he even announced for president.
Verify here.
Nothing to do with.
Stop. You hear that? The architect of Project 25 said Trump has nothing to do with that. But you're gonna have a lot of. On TikTok and all these other places, I just hear all these black people. Project 2025, Project 2025, 2025. They just hit. The media know all they have to do is just spoon feed the average ill-informed person, and they're gonna run with it. They're not gonna fact check. They're not gonna look into nothing. They just gonna run with it, especially if it's about Trump, because they hate Trump. So just spoon feed me anything, and I'm running with it. I'm not checking nothing out. I'm not verifying nothing. I'm running with it. That ain't Christian like to do that. That's not how Christians supposed to act. That is not how a Christian is supposed to act. Now, this is the big one. You remember the eating of the animals, eating the pets? And I see all these memes on Facebook where all these black people just acting, they just like that idiot, that's a nut. He's talking about people eating dogs and cats and eating. Trump is crazy. He's a lunatic. He's out of his mind. Remember something about all them conspiracy theories that we've been telling y'all? They've all come to pass. And now you the one looks stupid. The people you've been calling stupid, you the one looks stupid now because them conspiracy theories have all come to pass. Let's see about the eating of the pets. Is Trump crazy? Just a lunatic? Let's see.
Project 2025. They did not fact check. They got the same video I just seen. All right, let's go with the eating the pet thing. This is a big one.
You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
but
television.
The people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying their
manager.
dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Clark County.
Okay, now listen. That's what Trump said because that's what's being reported by residents. But ABC, they are liars. Y'all better stop listening to these liars. We about to, you better get yourself prepared. Things about to get biblical out here, and they rocking you to sleep. Cause you listening at these liars. Now listen at the residents. Listen.
This is a police radio communication about a person calling in regarding Haitians eating these animals. Listen to it.
Communications. Yes, ma'am. I got a question. This is a non-emergency line, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I'm sitting here. I'm riding on the trail going to my orientation for my job today, and I see a group of Haitian people. There was about 4 of them. They all had geese in their hand. They got away. I couldn't make out the first 3 of the license plate, but I got the numbers. The last number was 9898, and it was a gray Toyota Tacoma they took off on. There was about 4 of them. There was 2 men, 2 women. I couldn't tell the age because I'm in a hurry going to this orientation, so I don't be late.
What direction did they go?
They went up towards the middle of downtown.
Fine, you know, that's a police report.
Okay, and what path are you on?
Right now, hold on just a second. I'm coming to the intersection of. Give me a second here. It says Water and Warder Street.
Water and Warder. Is that the area you saw them?
Yes. It was about 2 minutes back behind me. I was trying to get my phone out and trying to make it to this orientation on time. I'm time crunching here. And I saw that. I'm like, yeah, this has got to be reported.
So how many geese did they have?
They each had 1. Now, the Toyota Tacoma did look like a newer model.
Is that for calling it?
All right, so that's a 911 call. Here's a citizen at the city council talking about.
They're running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They flipping cars in the middle of the street. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, and I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from this. What did you do?
Listen to this.
Here's
Watch
the video that people are alleging this is one of these migrants in this apartment complex eating a cat right here.
Why'd you kill the cat? Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with me.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
And let me be clear, this is not about race. This is about people being given the privilege of coming here from another country and having no respect for our people, our land, or our life's work. People living their life here the way they did in Haiti, angry, stealing, polluting, living in filth.
Now let's talk about fracking.
Harris, in your last run for president, you.
So you hear that with the eating of the animals, and now let me pull up something else to show you this video about this young lady talking about, I don't know what I did with the video. I had a video and probably done lose it. But my wife sent me a video to show me I probably done lost it. I don't know. But it's a video where this young lady was talking and showing that that's what Haitians do. That's exactly what Haitians, that's one of their practices. one of the things they do is, and where they from, they eat animals. I'm trying to tell you, that's one of the things they do. I had a video, but I don't even see it. I don't know what happened to it. And they also into a lot of witchcraft. Haitians are into a lot of witchcraft. And that's one of the things they do with the dead animals and all that stuff. So y'all can act like this stuff is, oh, he's a nut job, he's crazy. That's the culture of them Haitian people. So I'll tell them what, I used to work with one many, many years ago. That's their culture. And that's what they bring in here. So it is real. It most definitely is real. Now let's listen at this last lie, and then I'm gonna get on off of here. This last lie is fracking. You know, because she said she ain't gonna.
You said you wanted to ban fracking. Now you don't. You wanted mandatory government buyback programs for assault weapons. Now your campaign says you don't. You supported decriminalizing border crossings. Now you're taking a harder line. I know you say that your values have not changed. So then why have so many of your policy positions changed?
So my values have not changed, and I'm going to discuss every one of the, at least every point that you've made. But in particular, let's talk about fracking because we're here in Pennsylvania. I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yes. And
we had hundreds of people join the USCCA yesterday.
You see that?
So I'm here in our fulfillment center.
And starting,
you hit it?
Starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And,
day one.
And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, and you know, that we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah. So thank you.
She's banning it.
So would you ban offshore drilling?
Yes. And I've again worked on that.
They didn't fact check none of this. They let this go on and on and on and on. And it's just 9 of them. I'm sure that.
Yep. That's 9 fact checks in about 30 minutes that Kamala Harris lied about. And ABC did not do their job. They did not do their jobs whatsoever as it relates to fact checking Kamala Harris. They didn't do it, which is sad because they are misleading a lot of people. People are being misled. That's what's happening to people. But Brother Billy just thought he would do ABC's job, although I ain't getting paid. I'll do their job for them. Since their fact checker was only working against Donald Trump, I thought I would just show you 9 lies that were told by Kamala Harris that was not fact check at all. And remember, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. False balance is an abomination to God. If you're going to judge and if you're going to fact check Trump, and you should fact check him, he should be fact checked. But if you're going to fact check Trump in a debate, you also have to fact check Kamala Harris. I'm not saying get Trump off the hook, let Trump off the hook, fact check him. But you also must fact check Kamala Harris because a false balance is an abomination to God. But a just weight is his delight. Trump, we're going to fact check you. Kamala Harris, we're going to fact check you. That's fair. That's Christian-like. But all these people that talking about how they hate, you know, Trump is such a liar, pants on fire. But they ain't got no problem whatsoever with all them lies I just showed you from Kamala Harris. Okay. You got the truth now. Now you got a balance. You got a balance now. All right. Just wanted to share that. Y'all be blessed. I will see you again on the next screen. God bless you.